Well, hello and welcome to the second episode of the Law Insight series. My name is Marie Sparks. I'm committee member of the London Arbitration Week and also head of marketing, communications and business development at the LCIA. I'm delighted today to be joined by two of our platinum sponsors for law. We have Iain Quirk KC, who's barrister and arbitrator at Essex Court Chambers. And we have Damian Hickman, Director of London Arbitration Week and Director also of the IDRC. So he's technically my landlord here in the building. It's a pleasure to see you both and thank you for joining us, and thank you to the Arbitration Channel for hosting us. I think I'm not sure that Iain can hear me right now, but Damian, I assume that you can at the moment. So I'm going to start with you. We heard from Peter a couple of weeks ago, and he's obviously also a director of London Arbitration Week. But as another driving force behind the week, can you tell us why you feel London needed a dedicated arbitration week?
For sure. Well, welcome everybody. I think London is perceived to be the arbitration city of the world. So not to have its own arbitration week, I thought was a bit remiss. When we set it up, we did the first people we spoke to was the board of the LIDW to discuss that this is what we're planning on doing, and we've purposely planned it sort of 6 months away from LIDW, so not to sort of clash on that. But also the feedback that we were receiving from people in London was we thought it was good to have a more focused arbitration days or weeks or whatever it is. So that's the idea was born, and the response we've had has been really good. We've got some great sponsors, and the take up has been really good. And I think proof is in the pudding, really, isn't it? We'll just sort of see how how this one goes to see whether we take it forward. But what we're looking for is really sort of quality, not sort of quantity. That's the plan. So that was the reason behind it.
Great. And over to Iain then. What was it that appealed to Essex Court Chambers as platinum sponsors? What appealed to you about joining London Arbitration Week?
Yeah, hi, and thanks for that. So the thing about arbitration practice, which is distinct really from any other area of practice, certainly that I do, is just how international it is. Whether you've got people from Brazil or from the US or from Germany or from South Africa or South America or wherever, you can all speak the same language in the sense of the procedure of arbitration, whether you're talking about the nature of the arbitrators, of arbitration rules, of the way that the best way to persuade, all of those things, which actually is very distinct from any other area of practice. If you try and talk about contract law to someone in a different jurisdiction, you're not going to get very far. What that means is that you can really have some kind of very, very good conversations, but also useful debates about the best way to run arbitrations and the best way to deal with arbitration practice with everyone around the world. And for us and for me, that is something that I think is really important. It's particularly important given just how central London is to arbitration around the world. And so for Essex Court Chambers, as the leading arbitration set in London, it's basically a no-brainer for us to be fully behind the London Arbitration Week, particularly given that it's an inaugural year. It's going to be an opportunity for our members to network with people from around the world, have those discussions that I just talked about, but also in particular as well for us to meet and our more junior people to meet younger practitioners from around the world and students who want to get an exposure to leading practitioners in the field. One thing that's often said about arbitration is it's a bit of a closed shop, and there is a degree to which that is true. And I think it's brilliant that we can be there at the forefront and really talk to people about arbitration from all over the world.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's a really good point about junior practitioners and the closed shop. And I think throughout the programme, we've got some very key focused events on young arbitration practitioners as well. In particular, on the Friday during London Arbitration Week, we have some universities as well, which are hosting events. So back to Damian. It's just 3 weeks until the flagship conference now. Time has hurried past us. As a centrepiece for the week, what do you feel will make it the most special?
I'll unmute myself. We have the IDRC's 25th anniversary party after the flagship event at the Guildhall. So obviously that's a very important thing for us that we're sort of planning as well. But as you know, just to have, you know, we've got GAR to sort of start us off the week, and then we've got lots of sort of varied different seminars on the Tuesday and the Thursday, and then obviously we have the LCIA, and I think Essex Court are doing something again on the Friday as well. So just a really good varied program, but also a program that is meaningful. I think that's a really good thing, and not having lots of topics that are the same. So we're not sort of clashing, and so it's on point, and that. So personally, I'm looking forward to the whole week, but obviously the Wednesday night for our anniversary is obviously the highlight for us. So.
Yeah, well, congratulations. So you're reaching your 25th anniversary, I believe, on the Wednesday night. Can you tell us anything that can be expected from the evening celebration, Damian?
Well, it's being held in the Guildhall, so which is a fabulous room, and it's going to be relatively simple. Hopefully, it will look great. And we're just going to have, sort of fine champagne, wines, fine canapes, and obviously non-alcoholic things as well. And with a potential little sort of Christmas theme, because it's certainly the first arbitration week I've been to in December. So that's going to be an interesting one to see London being festive. Hopefully no snow, but you never know, do you?
Well, I mean, snow is always a nice thing, as long as it doesn't interrupt the travel arrangements, I guess. And I noticed that you said champagne, Damian, but I think we might be trying some English sparkling wines as well, just to be in keeping with the theme. So I'll move back to Iain now. So where will we expect to connect with members of Essex Court Chambers through the week?
So we will be, I'm sure, everywhere. Is the short answer to that. We are hosting a couple of events ourselves. One of those is on how to win joint venture disputes in arbitration, that actually I was going to be at, but then I've got a hearing that's gone in my diary, so I can't. But it's got a great panel. And the thing is, what I like about that panel is, when I think about barristers, and whenever anyone asks me about my job is about winning cases. That's why you instruct a barrister. And so that event on how to win joint venture disputes in arbitration, I think, is a really key one. I'd encourage everyone to go along to that. There's also a session on Section 67 challenges, which is really topical, particularly on this issue about whether a jurisdiction challenge is one that should reopen the dispute before the tribunal, or should be a high-level review. Very topical, something to really look out for. Also, Tim Iker KC is speaking at the flagship conference. For those of you that don't know Tim, he is the most recent judge of the European Court of Human Rights. He's come back to Chambers having spent a number of years there. It's fantastic that he's back and taking on arbitration work, and he's going to be speaking at the flagship conference. And then, of course, we will be at all of the drinks events, knowing my colleagues in Chambers, and you can catch us at all of those sorts of events, and also various other hosted events during the course of the week. I, for example, am speaking at Baker McKenzie at one point during the week.
Great, thank you very much, Iain. One of the things that you mentioned there was the opening drinks as one of the flagship events. We have had some questions through for our various info email addresses asking when those will go on general sale, and we are hoping to make those available from next Monday, so 2 weeks before the event. So please do keep your eyes peeled for that. We are doing really well, as Damian said, with trying to manage the busy event programme. Event proposals, if people aren't aware, are now closed, but there are a handful of approved events still to be added to the programme. And we've had a really great uptake from the community. We have quite a few events that are already sold out, and we have a waiting list operating for the flagship conference. So it's all very busy behind the scenes, but all very exciting as well. Damian, I think you've probably answered this already, but is there anything in particular you're most looking forward to about the week, perhaps aside from the IDRC's big celebration?
Yeah, I mean the flagship the conference itself during on the Wednesday. We've got a great team that have put together a really good program for that. So that's so really looking forward to that. And there's very good diverse panels that are discussing really sort of important topics on that. And then yeah, just really looking forward just to meeting up with lots of sort of friends from the arbitration community that are coming into London. Yeah, so I really enjoy sort of arbitration weeks, and then for London to have its own is going to be a bit special. So yeah, looking forward to it all.
Yeah, and from my point of view, I think the most important thing about London Arbitration Week is that it demonstrates that London is not complacent about its position. We are in the top spot as the most popular seat. English law is the most popular law in arbitrations around the world, but there are challenges. There are places around the world that are looking to challenge that position. And I do think it's important for us that we're showcasing why London is the top spot. And that, for me, really is what this week is all about. And also that we demonstrate that innovation in arbitration is strong here. Our Arbitration Act has recently been refreshed, and so the framework for arbitration remains the best in the world. Our judges and the English common law, of course, are the best in the world, and it's one of the reasons why arbitration is so strong here. And then our legal tech environment, which builds around the arbitration scene, has some of the most cutting edge developments in arbitration to be found anywhere, from digital arbitration to the AI prediction of the outcome of arbitrations before they've even begun. So that's all being built in London, and I really look forward to discussing all of that during the week.
And obviously the finest dispute resolution centre in the world as well.
Obviously, Damian.
That went without saying.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for your time today. Thank you once again to the Arbitration Channel for giving us this opportunity. And we all look forward to seeing you at the beginning of December. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.